start the recording.
We represent the Lollipop Kids, the
Kings,
Lollipop
Lollipop
Kids,
Kings,
the
the
Lollipop
Lollipop
Kids.
Kings,
We represent the
the
Lollipop
Lollipop
Kids.
Kings, the Lollipop Kings.
William
Yeah.
is the Lollipop King, the Lollipop King. I'm just saying.
I
You
love
beat
right.
me to it.
Thank
I've been
you.
sitting here waiting.
You
Now listen to that at 2 times the speed.
I can't wait.
That'll be a fun one.
Somebody is gonna watch these videos someday and be like, "There's something wrong with this."
I hope so,
You're
because
right.
if they think we're
Hold on. If somebody starts watching this one day and somehow makes it to session 26 before they're like, these people are weird.
That's true. It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
exactly.
Okay, so I'm
No.
just gonna say it's not the last bite of cake. It's the whole cake. That's what's gonna make you sick. You don't blame the last bite. It's the whole damn thing. Don't eat the whole cake.
Oh,
Absolutely.
all right. Where are we starting this week?
So yeah, where we left off last time.
Brooke,
what
hold
were
on.
you-
The rest of us had 2 or 3 sessions. She only had 1. So I think Brooke should go first.
Oh, absolutely. Don't worry about that. What I was reviewing was that where everybody was at. Ryan was still down in the sewers.
For anybody else?
You're still freezing, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Love that for me. Anyway. So Ryan was still down in the sewers. Y'all were heading back from Lost Forge, and Brooke and her daddy had gone off towards the Frozen Ward, and that way y'all could intercept the incredibly powerful magic item that runs their guild. And yes, absolutely, William, like you had said, we're going to start over there with River. So the last thing that you and your dad were talking about was you needed to make a distraction.
Right.
So as you're approaching this place, the way that I had sort of laid it out for you, the entire area of Winterbank where the Winter Fair set up is itself sort of almost like a direct representation of them in the way that it is gray and dark and cold, unnaturally cold within this part of the city. And the headquarters that they have, it looks like it was about, imagine almost like a city block where you've got 4 buildings stacked up against each other on corners.
Mm-hmm.
They took over an entire block and converted it all into one large place with a courtyard in the center of it.
Okay.
Now, the streets here, much like the rest of the city, are pretty empty. But they do have some guards posted around the front entrance to this area. You can tell that there's probably, just from where you see, that there are 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Very big looking characters. 2 of them are Goliaths. One of them is a Furbolg, and a couple of kobolds. And they are spec'd out to really hurts anything that decides to try and get past them.
Okay.
And as you are sort of observing this, you see your dad slink off and disappear into the dark.
Shit, he didn't even tell me the plan. That's messed up. Okay. What is the entrance? Is it like a wall around a place with a single entrance?
No, so because this was a 4 square block, each one of these buildings has its own door.
Okay.
But from where you're facing, you can only see one of them. You would be able to tell just by the way that this place is built. It's not too different from Old Town, just the buildings are a little bit newer.
Okay.
And so the way that this is laid out, you'd probably be able to find the other doors from the other sides.
Have I ever been here before?
You've not been to this part of the city. Because this is actually technically on the outside of where like not just Old Town ends, but also on the outside of the protection of the walls, even though it's still
Okay.
part of the city proper.
Can I go all the way around and see all 4 sides and pick the best one to try to go in? Or do I have to go in this one?
You don't have to go in that one, but if you're going to try and get up close enough to observe the other sides of it, you probably are going to need to make a stealth check.
Okay. They're guarding the door.
Correct.
How tall, how many stories is the building?
It's 3 stories tall.
Are there any buildings around it?
There are some, but they're all smaller.
How close are the buildings?
Closest one to it's about 150 feet.
Scratch that. Are there any trees around the building?
Yes. There is one tree that is right beside the building that is growing lemons.
Would it support my weight?
You can't tell,
Okay.
but it doesn't look like a very old tree.
Okay.
So that would be really up to your dexterity
Scrap-
check.
Scrap that plan. Is anything guarding above the first story of the
Mm.
building?
Not that you can tell, but the windows on the second story are closed
Mhm.
and the shutters are closed as well. So you'd have to find a way to get through them in order to get up into there. And that's saying with what you can see.
What about the roof?
You can't see the roof from where you are, but you know that there is one.
Well, yeah. But I could climb up and try to get in through the roof, or do they have guards up there?
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
But as far as could you do it, you could definitely try. I mean, as a tabaxi, you get a bonus to those type of checks to climb.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, you could definitely make the check for it with acrobatics.
okay, how
Or
far away am I
athletics.
from the door? And how far away, where between me and the door?
From where you are right now, you're about 250 feet away from the door. Far enough away that they're not going to notice you.
Okay,
But you are close enough that you can see them clearly. And you can tell that while the 2 Goliaths are continuing to stand beside the door, the rest of them are sort of pacing around and on this side of the building, sort of looking around for anything out of the ordinary. So are you going to take some time to watch them, or are you going to try and approach them? Are you going to try and go somewhere else?
I'm concerned, how much time do I have? He just left and didn't tell me anything.
So
So I don't know if I have time to watch them or if I need to get inside like now. That's crap. He should have told me before he left. At least something. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna watch them for at least a few minutes and try to see if there's any kind of pattern to their walking that I can use to get around them.
okay, so you observe them for, we'll say, 10 minutes.
Okay,
And during that time, you see that it takes them about 10 minutes for the group that's moving around to go from one side of the yard to the other side of the yard.
mhm,
And in that time, they aren't anywhere near the door, except when they cross in front of it.
mhm.
So if you time things correctly, you might only have to deal with 2 of them. It might still alert the other 3, but you won't have to fight them.
What time of day is it and what are the shadows like?
We'll say time of day, it is now, I don't know, midday.
Mm,
But remember, everything is overcast and dark and stormy and yeah,
yeah,
so it's dark.
okay. Well, I think I'm gonna try to do that. Wait, what if the door's locked? Crap.
You have lockpicking tools
Oh, yeah, okay. That's right.
because you're a rogue.
I'm a rogue. Okay, I'm gonna try to sneak past them
Okay,
and get to the door.
okay, let's make a stealth check. So of course, it didn't bring back up my DM screen. Let me pull that up. There we
My stealth isn't on there.
go. No. Were you needing me to pull that up for you?
Yes, please. You always have my stats up. I didn't plan for this. I do have my dice.
Okay,
Stealth +9.
yes,
All right.
that's 6.
6. Okay.
So what, 15?
15.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we'll say that the group that's by the door, did notice you. The other group that's moving did not.
Okay.
So as you're moving up closer, the two of them are now watching you approach.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Good response.
Thank you. Thought out. Been planning that all day.
So far, you're not a threat. So they're not like trying to attack you,
Right.
but they are aware you're there.
Yeah. That sort of ruins my whole sneak past them plan.
Unless you leave and find another way to get there.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I
Like
guess,
Wile E. Coyote is.
yeah, I need to like nonchalantly start walking away.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay, they're not gonna attempt to stop you, so you can leave freely.
Okay.
So what's your plan now?
To go try on a different side of the building.
Okay. So you then, let's see, you would be approaching from the south. That'll put you in east. Okay. On the eastern side, there are no humanoids.
Mm.
There are just a pair of gargoyles that are stationed at either side of the building that are watching.
Hmm. But the side of the building looks the same. 3
Basic-
stories high,
basically.
windows locked.
I mean, it's each one of those buildings was a different place, so it looks slightly different from corner to corner, but yeah, it's basically the same setup.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at the other side.
Okay. Each side is gonna have something added if you're going to try and find one that doesn't have something.
Well, I wanna know which ones I would be most likely to win a fight with.
Okay, so then on the northern side, there is an elf and 3 hyenas.
Okay,
And on the western side, there is a beholder.
dear gods. Okay, not going that way.
No, 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 no.
I think I will try the east wall with the gargoyles.
Okay. So
Offer them jalapenos. I love you.
you can make another stealth check now.
Yeah.
So it's a +9. That's a 15.
15 + 9, that's much better.
That is much better. Great.
24.
Mhm. Okay, so they get to roll to try and notice you. They miss you.
Okay, so do I make it to the door? I make it to the door?
Yeah, for sure. If that's
Okay.
like if you're heading towards the door, you definitely can get to the door.
Okay, then I wanna try to pick the lock to get in. Well, I'm gonna just try the handle first, actually.
You're gonna try and open it.
Yes,
Okay. This door is unlocked.
great, I'm just gonna open it slowly, cautiously, a little, and like peek inside to see if anyone is there.
Okay, smart.
I'm not gonna just burst through like the Kool-Aid man. +9 stealth, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Kool-Aid. Yeah, so you ease the door open slightly, and in this room, it looks like you have found an armory. There are two people in here. One of them is sharpening weapons while the other one is doing inventory.
Okay.
There is a door on the opposite side of this room that is open.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've shown this sometimes.
All like a dining hall.
Okay.
That if you moved quick enough, you could get to the other side. The idea is, can you move quick enough without them noticing you?
Mm-hmm. Is there anything in this room that I could steal to disguise myself in this place that would like make me look like I belong there?
If you knocked out one of these people and took their uniform, yeah.
Okay, you said it was an armory. That means weapons only, not armor.
Yeah, there's no armor in here.
Okay, let's stealth check again.
You don't have to stealth check again.
I don't
We can
have
keep
to?
the 24. Yeah, that's fine.
Fantastic. I would like to try to sneak past these folks into a shadow on the way out of this room.
Okay, they get another check on you though. They do not make the check.
They do not see me. They are still drunk from yesterday. Okay.
Backseat DMing a bit.
Hey, I mean, why else wouldn't they notice me running through them?
Why else wouldn't they notice a tabaxi that's colored like Mardi Gras?
Okay. Okay, so I made it through. Now what do I see?
So once you enter into the dining area, there isn't really a place for you to hide here once you're moving from room to room.
Okay.
But once you're in here, you see that at the far side of the table is that sort of white, emaciated human that you had seen back at the gathering of all of the guild leads.
Mm-hmm.
And held in his left hand is the staff.
Oh, dadgum.
There is nobody else in this room, and his eyes are wide open, staring at the wall directly in front of him, and they are chalk white.
Creepy.
Inside this room, there is sort of eerie, almost ominous music that's playing. It's the kind of thing that would in your own home make you feel very comfortable, and in this particular setting makes you feel like you have walked into a very dangerous place.
Okay.
So far, it looks as though you haven't been noticed.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Are
Okay,
there shadows along the walls that I can like slink through the shadows?
I'm going to go to somebody else, and I'm going to give you
Okay.
time to think now.
I'll think about it. Ugh.
Okie dokie. So, let's head back to the big group. So, yeah, where you left off, y'all were about to leave Lost Forge. Whenever you started to hear commotion around the corner of the shop that things were going wrong. So I guess somebody was discovering that you had looted their place. And you heard a very familiar voice. The grizzled sounds of a deep dwarven accent that the last time you had heard it, you were at the night market. William, you immediately recognize it's Skovold Kickthrone.
Please bear with me and remind me who that is.
He's the leader of the Iron Barons. He's the one that
Oh,
was trying to show down with Ogram and say, like, he is confessed openly, not directly to the group, but to this whole sort of plot that he is bought off by Ivor.
Because he was with the bug dudes that were attacking us, right? Okay.
I quietly say to Torch, do you want to stay and fight or do you want to run away?
Think we're picking a fight already.
This is a
Mhm.
Who all is in
this
this?
is a reminder. Am I close enough to where I can just sort of whisper and be like,
You're far enough away that unless you are intentionally speaking at a louder than sort of normal conversational volume, you probably wouldn't be heard.
So you guys can talk amongst yourselves freely.
Right. Basically, as long as nobody's yelling or clanking their shield about, then yeah, you're pretty much not immediately noticed. The voices are coming from people you can't see because they're around the side of the building that you were in just a few moments ago.
I don't think
Um,
we're in a position to fight just yet, right? Like,
honestly, my brother in stature, I don't, I feel like if we pick this fight now, we're kicking stuff off we're not ready to kick off yet.
Fair, but at the same time, he's here. He's right in front of us. This is an ally of Ivor we could take out. And we've got the blacksmith
We
with
do have a
us.
blacksmith. That's a good
I was
point.
going to say, you are now technically a group of 4.
The only thing that makes me hesitate is we don't know how many are with him.
It's true.
Or how many he can call.
or
Or
how to
what
beat
level
him
he
in any
is.
way.
Yeah, you're also not aware of what level he is. That is a fair thing, Ryan. It does not mean that that you can't engage if that's what you want to do.
Torch, your call.
I don't make and kill
Nope.
monsters.
No, no, thank you. We're gonna pass on the fighting this time. Let's slink away.
Okay. Then the group of you, being that you're far enough away without having to engage, are able to make your way back south from Lost Forge. Now, are you planning to go back to Old Town to where the Rotten headquarters is, or are you planning to go somewhere else? You're close enough leaving Lost Forge that you could either go to Old Town or go to Trader's Bend in about the same amount of time, which is where you know that Ryan is heading.
I don't want to like,
It's
sorry.
it's also where you know that they are holding prisoners.
I don't want to like slow us down or anything, but I do have a question.
Well-
Would it be a good idea to get a look at him and see what he's up to? Just for information's sake?
Like,
Saying that to my crew. Yeah, just see what he's up to. Or
What, like tail him for a little bit?
let me actually back up a second. So we heard the person say, "What happened to my shop?" He's not that person, right?
He is not that person.
That was someone else. We're
That was
just
someone
hearing
else.
him. Okay. All right. So honestly, I sort of feel like we could benefit from just clamping eyes on him if we can do so safely.
Well,
Do you
of
still
the
have
lot
an
of you-
invisibility?
I was going to say, of the
Yeah.
lot of you, William has a mask that lets him look like anybody, and Heather can cast invisibility.
mhm.
So you've
That's
got
true.
plenty of ways to get around without people normally being able to notice you.
Okay. Well, so I think if the group's okay, I can cast invisibility and I can see if I can get the scoop.
Miles, how big of a humanoid can I look like?
It doesn't actually change the shape or size of your body, just your face.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Because I think I have. No, never mind. Sorry.
I'm trying to remember if 5e has that species.
Which one?
The crows, the
Oh,
ravens.
yeah. Yeah,
Arca something.
no, there's Aarakocra, but then there's
Yeah.
also the other one, Kenku.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I look at my two partners. Blacksmith can freak out if she wants to, but I look at my two partners and go, "Don't freak out." And I imagine the face of a Tenku has a slight scar down the side of his face.
Hmm.
This is someone that I knew in my travels,
Okay.
and uh, he has a very, very deep voice
Uh,
when he speaks. So and every now and then he would, squawk, but it was I talk like this. So what? It's not my fault that I talk like this. Does that make sense?
yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
In 5e, Kenku are a part of it, but Kenku can't speak except words and phrases that they've picked up from other things. Think like how you teach a parrot to talk. Kenku, when they start, get 6 words that they learned in the time it took them to get to where they're level 1. And those are 6 words that I've sort of always thought of it not like them learning to say a word, but them sort of trying to repeat the word with the same sort of sound. Like it's not their voice, it's the voice of a shopkeeper that said, "Get out of my shop." And all of a sudden it's coming out of a little bird's mouth. So they can't speak their own language. That's a curse that was put on all Kenku. That's the reason why they're different than Aarakocra.
Okay.
So you can, depending upon the level and how long they've been alive, they can learn lots of words and phrases and sounds and things. That's the reason why Kenku, like, they don't even have to learn like words. Like I could open my mouth as a Kenku and make the sound of a bomb going off
Oh.
because that's the word
Okay.
that I picked up.
Is there any possibility that there was? Okay. Was there a possibility that there was a cloak at the blacksmith shop?
Um, sure. Something mundane. I don't, fine. That's fine. Whatever.
Okay. So I would throw that over my shoulders and then change my face to look like the Tenku. And then Torch, if you're up for it, what do you think?
Yeah, that's fine if we want to tail them instead. Yeah.
So you guys go invisible and I'll start acting like I have a limp, but walking towards them. As I get around that corner, I would, hesitantly step around it, but not like I'm like I'm looking behind myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I get to the corner, I'm looking behind myself, more focused on what's behind me and people following me versus the person that is in front of me. And then I would see the dwarf, and I'm guessing, or rewind that. What else do I see besides the dwarf?
There's 2 dwarves. One of them you've never seen before, and the other one is Skovald. And you see probably about another 100 feet behind him, there is looks like a small cart that's being pulled by 2 warthogs. And on the back of it are 4 other warriors that look like they're ready for battle. Other members of the Iron Barons.
Okay. Focusing my looking behind me like I'm looking for someone stalking me. I wait a few seconds and then I turn and I start walking towards the direction of where that cart is. And I let it go past me and I would turn and skulk behind it basically, but always looking behind me, acting like I'm looking out for somebody trying to follow me. How far can I follow without them getting, suspicious? And also, Heather, Kelly, what are you guys doing?
Okay, so let me unpack that a bit. So if you're going to try and follow behind them without them noticing you, I'm going to need you to make a stealth roll.
Oh no. The clanky armor.
FUCKEDAGAI. Is that out loud?
I also wanted to hang it out there, William, that I know that you were going for the specific look. You are absolutely welcome to continue to just converse however you want to as this character. Just be aware that if anyone says, I didn't know Kenku could talk as well as you do.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Because remember, you're not turning into them, you just look like them. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out before eventually one of the NPCs goes, I've never heard a Kenku talk so much in my life.
Mm.
Hey, that's
Wow.
a decent stealth roll. You got a 15, sir. Well,
Mart's been
all right,
teaching me.
So these two, okay, so one of them is a pretty well established rogue, and so the two of them are very. I'm not going to say that they're very aware that you're there, but they clock you as you're coming up initially, and then after they leave, it's probably about another maybe 10 minutes before he looks back and sees you again, and then stops walking and just stares at you to see if you're going to keep walking. Now, as William had prompted before, Heather, Kelly, what are y'all doing?
I just want to kind of follow behind, but not too closely behind, so as to. Or wait, Williams, did you say you wanted us in front of you, or?
Up to you.
Okay, I just want to kind of slink behind.
Yeah, I don't have any invisibility, so I agree that I'm going to be far enough to hopefully not be seen.
Okay. Then let's
Doesn't
see.
her invisibility spell cover more than one person?
No, it's only one.
Oh.
Yeah, she doesn't have the one that covers that many people yet. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Okay, so go ahead and make me a stealth check. I know you've got +0 in it, but hear me out. 13. Beautiful. So,
Awesome. All right.
so as it turns out, that magic item I gave you, the Cloak of the Night Stalker, it says that you make a dexterity stealth check when you attempt to conceal yourself from enemies, slink past guards, slip away without being noticed, or sneak up on someone without being seen or heard. That's going to give you advantage on that roll. So you can roll again if you want.
Cloak of the Night Stalker. I'm still geeking.
Okay, 13 it is then. Yeah, so you're only slightly less stealthy than Amir is. However, Amir is sort of concealed himself in such a way that he doesn't really have to matter or have to worry about people looking at him. So we'll say the safest place for you to be from here is probably like as far back as you can get. In fact, if I were you, if you didn't want anybody to notice you, I would probably stay behind the building and watch from far.
And keep the blacksmith with you.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, she's still like back where everybody was assembled, like hands on her hips, hammers in her sling. What are we doing now? Okay, so and then the other two of you are moving forward towards Scovold. William, what are you doing now that he's actually noticed you?
Every time I look back, crossbow, bad. I look back forward, I take a few steps, look back behind me, crossbow, bad. And then I make eye contact with both of them and go, beer, good, crossbow, bad.
I've never understood the little ones. Um, little birds must fly away before they get plucked. Scovold says, spitting in front of you.
I make eye contact with, I just look behind me and I mouth the word. I don't know if she can see me, but I actually mouth the words. Hey, Torch.
Am I even close enough to hear him?
You can't hear him from where you are. In fact, William, I'd like you to take a moment to recognize that you no longer have an expressive face. You have a giant bird bill. And so what you've done is you've turned around back to where Torch is and went, and she can't read what the fuck that means.
I'm hoping that would eventually click in my head. So I actually yell out loud, Torch, Torch, answer me.
The dwarves get up onto the wagon and start to roll away. Both of them chattering between each other about how much they hate things like you that can't even talk like a proper person.
I start grumbling and I turn around and I start walking back towards where Torch is.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just staring at the ground, not really looking back or anything like that. After about 20 or 30 feet, I stop, I look back and I say out loud, crossbow, bad, beer, good. And I look back towards the ground. I start walking towards Torch. And then as soon as I get close to Torch, I let go of the illusion. I get around the wall. I let go of the illusion. I look Torch right in the face and go, next time I see that little punk, I'm whooping his ass.
Awesome. Okay. So you got this close to another encounter. But you've just narrowly avoided such a thing. So again, are you going to head towards Old Town? Are you going to head towards Trader's Bend?
Trader's Bend, right? We've got there's nothing in Old Town.
Now, the only thing that's in Old Town for you is what you know as your headquarters. But Trader's Bend is where you know that Dadu, Emil are going, where the ring is that you're trying to find for Mulder, and where they're holding a bunch of prisoners. Alternatively, I mean, you could technically go wherever you want, but those are places you know of that something's happening. So pick a destination.
I'm
I
all for
vote
Trader's
Trader's Bend.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
I'm with the twins.
Awesome.
For the record, she got all the looks. I got all the shoulders.
I'm a real twin.
Are you really?
Yeah, I have
I
a
didn't
twin.
know that.
Wow, I didn't realize that. That's
awesome.
fun.
I mean, is it fun?
I mean, I was gonna say it's fun for me to know that, but I don't know.
We don't look much alike, so like we share a birthday and that's about it. But it is fun to like built-in best friend, right? Like I through anything, I know I can call her for anything. So
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Okay, well then I'm going to go ahead and cut over to Ryan then. Ryan,
Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
Yes, that would be the appropriate theme song.
So tell me, sir, um, what is your reaction right now?
Oh, I have so many of those. All right, so we're back at a juncture where we can go left, straight, or right. It looks exactly like the last ones, right? How can I backtrack to where I saw the spider?
Well, as far as you know, if you go towards, it'd be the south at this point, you'd be heading through the corridor that you had came down, the utility shaft.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So I say to Emil, Emil, I have an idea. Come with me, and I'm gonna try to backtrack to that spider.
Okay.
Can we
So
find it?
make me a survival check.
Oh, because you know how much I love those.
Oh, I do.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's an 18. That's a damn good one, actually. Aw, I saw all the puppers.
I did for a minute.
Um, awesome. So yeah, actually, with an 18, now that you can tell which walls are which, you're able to backtrack pretty easily. In fact, the further and further you move, you're starting to realize that this is some sort of long labyrinthine tunnel. And with you backtracking, it seems like you're getting closer and closer, but it's also more and more concerning with how large this illusion is. We'll say that it takes you about probably 10 minutes to backtrack to where you were, where you actually were when you met the crossroads. And from where you're standing now, you can see the pipes that you had passed by. So the bracelet that you had talked about was there somewhere, like attached to a pipe.
Okay, so I'm gonna seek that out. So I need to find the spider bracelet.
Okay.
Do I find it?
Make an investigation check. Because now that you're back here,
Nice.
that is a 20. That is a dirty 20, but that is a 20. Yeah, you're able to find this thing. It's almost looks like this place is the same, but also like something came through here and messed it all up. The pipes are all here, but some of them are sort of pushed out of the way. Some of them are bent. Some of them have cracks in them now where steam is leaking out of them and water is dripping. But you do find the bracelet that is clamped onto one of the pipes.
Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna look over at Emil. Say, Emil, brace yourself. This is about to get not fun. And I'm gonna say out loud to the voice that we heard earlier, show yourself.
Okay. All right, so describe to me, are you facing back towards the crossroads where you would come from? Are you facing back towards the sewer? I want to understand your placement.
I am facing the spider
You're
the
like
spider
looking at
bracelet right now.
pipes? Okay.
I am looking at it, and yet I look slightly. I can see it, but I'm looking slightly up, and I say, "Show yourself."
Okay. When you do, you hear silence, just total and complete silence. And then you hear, and looking back over your shoulder, Emil is about 5 feet above the ground, being held up by his neck. And you are now looking sort of eyes to chest with a large sized creature. This is the Oni that William had to face before. And the just gruesome, hideous, widening gyre across this thing's face. Its massive, toothy grin sort of opens wide, and you can see him moving to bite off Emil's head. And I'm going to
Release
cut
him
back
now.
over. No, seriously, what are you going to do?
That's so mean. Release him now, or you will be sorry. I offer you that one chance, and that one chance only.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, I can roll intimidation against that.
Okay, he bites down hard on Emil's neck, dealing him 16 points of piercing damage.
Oh no.
And 5 points of poison damage.
As you wish. I'm going to take out the Whisper Blade. I'm going to unsheath it. And I'm going to strike the spider bracelet.
Okay.
Ooh.
Roll to hit. You'll hit as long as you don't get a 1.
Excellent.
A 24 is definitely a valid roll.
Very good.
Yeah, you hit this thing dead in the center of it. Roll damage for me. Awesome. You slice straight through that thing and into the pipe below it. And as you do, Ryan, I need you to make me a... No, you're too close for a dex save. Make me a Constitution save.
This close to the nat 1.
That's great, actually. So it's going to be... So, Ryan, you take 3 points of damage because that con check is awesome. You take 3 points of damage as this thing, when you hit it, it sort of blows you back almost like a concussive blast, and your whole body moves 10 feet and impacts against the Oni, which then impacts him up against the wall. And as that happens, you can see the whole illusory terrain around it shift and shimmer and disappear. And now I'm going to leave you, Ryan.
Oh crap, you're coming back to me.
I'm coming back to
I
you.
couldn't think about what I'm supposed to do. I was listening to what they were doing. Okay.
ADHD and D.
That's what you get for splitting the party.
Oh, I should have stayed in the car. I'm going to slowly. How far away am I from this guy?
Probably 80 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna start walking towards him.
Okay, you're gonna just stand upright and just walk. I'm trying to clarify, not because that's a bad decision. I just want to make sure that when I say something about that later, you're like, oh no, I meant I was crawling.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no one and nothing else in this room but this guy and the staff. And the guy looks blind and like in a trance.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start walking towards him.
Okay. Your stealth is so high that you don't make any sound as you cross these boards. You can see up on the shelves as you pass through here, there are all sorts of different trinkets and reliquaries, just horribly ridiculous looking things, the kind of thing that you would imagine finding in a bog witch's hut, not so
Okay.
much in a like upscale building in the middle of a city.
Okay,
And you notice now that hung from the ceiling are tons of bones.
gross. Okay.
They're not like fresh or dripping or whatever.
No,
It just looks
okay.
like, almost imagine wind chimes made of bone
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are hung maybe, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 feet above where you would consider usual head height.
Okay, yeah, gross.
But you're able to approach probably, how close are you gonna try and get?
I mean, the goal is to take the staff, right?
Yeah,
So
okay,
I'm just gonna keep walking
Okay.
until something happens.
okay, so you walk up right next to this thing,
Mhm.
and you can hear it sort of barely breathing.
The guy,
Uh-huh.
not the staff.
Not the staff, the guy.
Okay.
Make a perception check for me. Yes, I'll pull up your sheet. That is a nat 1.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I rolled a nat 1. Yay.
Okay, awesome.
But what's my perception?
+1.
Great, so I got a 2.
You did.
So I didn't see none.
No.
Okay.
Again, thankful you can't crit fail on a skill check, huh?
Okay, I have a question. What do I know about this staff having grown up in this city where this is like a guild leader? And okay, and follow-up question to that. What's gonna happen if I touch it with my bare paw skin, fur? Or should I like put on a glove?
Okay, so first thing I want to address is that it's not that you don't see anything.
Okay,
It's that you don't notice a thing.
okay,
You can almost feel the air in the room change. Almost like something is different,
mhm,
but then it brushes over you.
okay,
What you would know about this staff is very little, because intentionally they don't talk about what it can do.
okay,
Ogrim just knows what he knows because he's another guild lead.
right,
So he knows that Iron Spine is a dangerous magical item that should not be wielded by someone as evil and deadly as Ivor.
right, okay. But would I know what would happen to it if I touched it?
Make an Arcana check. It's 2, and you got a +0.
Great.
So no.
What is this rolling? Okay, what happens if I just reach toward it and I don't actually touch it?
I don't know. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I am reaching towards it, not touching it yet. What happens?
So as you get within sort of grasping distance of the staff, from the tips of your fingers all the way up to your elbow, you start to feel like bitter cold, like the kind that chills you all the way to the bone.
Okay, pull my hand back away from the cold
Mhm.
staff. Does the cold go away?
It does.
What if I reach towards the dude, not the staff?
You do not get the same effect.
Can I kick the staff out of his hand? Like quickly, Or would my foot?
So-
freeze when I touch
That's, I mean, yeah, you're close enough, you could do something like that if you rolled it.
it? Okay,
Um,
do I have gloves in my kit?
I sort of have always assumed you did.
Okay, well, I definitely am gonna put those on
Cool.
before I kick it. Or attempt to kick it.
Okay. Are you putting the gloves on your feet?
No, I'm wearing boots, but I'm putting my gloves on my hands because my plan is to try to kick it out of his hand. And then pick it up with my gloved hand. And run.
Okay. All right. Let's make an athletics check. It's 11
11.
plus 2 is a 13.
Okay,
Okay. So. Let's see what that does. Okay. Okay. So you you kick the staff, and the moment that your foot impacts the staff, you feel as though your body is just filled with ice water, not
Mhm.
blood.
okay,
But the shock is almost immediately gone. You only take 1 point of damage from that.
okay,
It's the kind of thing that made all the fur on your body stand on end.
mm,
The 93 was the percentile that when you did it, he'd let go.
okay,
So you sort of get down and kick this thing out of his hand. And instead of kicking it out of his hand completely detaches from his body, still clutching on to the staff. The staff does not fall over. It instead goes shh and stays planted on the ground.
okay. And then what happens to him?
He is still sitting there. You can see where the hand was severed. It's not bleeding. It is just sort of emaciated and barely holding together. In
Gross.
fact, it looks like just deep, deep, deep frostbite.
Okay,
Um,
is he wearing shoes?
his feet are under the table.
Okay.
Um,
I don't have time for that.
but anyway, as this thing slides across the floor, and sort of plants itself, you can see that there are from the top of it down to the bottom, there are 5 red gemstones,
Hmm,
and it starts to glow, and then this one, and then this one,
okay,
and then the door on the far side of the room bursts open, and in runs your dad.
oh, great, are you here to tell me what the fuck the plan is? Cause I detached this guy's arm. And I don't know what to do now.
The plan was for you to distract everyone while I broke in here.
Cool. Now what?
Missing a hand is very distracting.
Now
Typical
it's
angsty teenager.
cat tastes like.
Ooh,
And the body in the chair sort of slams the chair way back up against the back wall in just an uncommon, unnatural fashion. And as it does, the entire body sort of shatters into chips of ice.
okay,
Yo.
And you can hear this voice in your head.
okay,
You've taken the first step, but you're not good enough yet. But I will make you good, or you will die trying. And I need you to make a wisdom save.
oh shit. Okay.
That is a 3.
Oh, God. And I have a -2.
You have a -2.
Can I re-roll?
You-
This is
Let,
shit.
let's be honest here. River and the word wisdom does not belong in the same sentence.
Did you practice rolling your dice before game tonight?
No, but look, I put on whiskers. I am in
So,
inspiration point.
Okay,
I'm
hold
the
on,
only
hold
person
on.
who came to game
Hold-
in character.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
That's
hold on,
true.
hold on. So, yes, you're right. However, the thing that I wanted to point out the most right now is that if you feel this desk, it is sticky.
Oh.
Feel it.
It's like the table is against me.
It's
like,
like you have
So-
children.
So what I'm saying is that don't roll on the table,
okay.
roll on your game mat, in a bowl, something, because your rolls will always be better.
16 -2. 14 is my wisdom.
Okay.
It's better.
I'll take it.
Let me see. Gotta look at my stats here. Put it in here. Thought I put it in here.
I even put a nose on. It's really hard. I feel like it's probably hard for y'all to see. What if I take my glasses off? Is it more noticeable?
See it.
Yes.
You know, I thought I saw something on your nose earlier, but I didn't like,
Yeah,
want to
I
point anything
realized
out, but
that
now I see the
In
whiskers,
the
so it all makes
camera,
sense.
it's not, it doesn't translate. It just looks like my nose is really dark.
Okay. So, you feel like this is a very good decision. That, this sentient staff is speaking absolute truth and absolutely is the person that should be teaching you how to do the next steps in your life. Everything about this seems like a great decision. And you look back at your dad and he's a stranger to you. The only thing you can think about is how to be the best at killing things.
William, we're gonna have to kill that thing later. Just saying.
Ooh.
I'm so down.
And then your dad snatches it out of your hands.
Oh, I actually grabbed it?
No, you didn't,
Oh.
but it was there.
Oh, it came to me. That's fucking great. Okay.
And you see that from the top of his head all the way down to his fingers, you can see his skin is sort of turning an icy cold blue color. His eyes go white like the person that was at the table before, and you can hear the same voice now come out of your father's lips.
Oh.
Face me.
Is the hand still attached to the staff?
No.
Ah,
Yeah, his whole body sort of turned into ice chips,
I
including
was
the
gonna
hand.
grab the hand.
Oh.
I need a trash grabber.
Yeah, you do.
Like you pick trash up from the ground with it. I want to grab the staff with it. Can I have one of those? Just kidding.
My twin sister literally has one because she's 3 inches shorter than me, and that's how she gets things out of the top shelf, and it makes me happy. I'm not gonna lie.
I love that.
That's awesome.
So now you're in a position where you are going to have to basically fight your mind-controlled father or run.
I have a question, but I
Yes.
need to ask it off. I need to ask just the DM, not everybody.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you want me to mute it?
Yeah, can you just mute it?
Sure.
And she says, "How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood?" Heather, listen to that at double speed.
I can't wait.
I think I can read her lips. She's asking for an extra weapon.
It's like that time where she said something, 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 something. We get extra points.
Oh, I loved when she did that.
And I'm not talking about when she added the math better than the DM. Just to clarify.
I was kind of proud of myself, like way earlier, you were muted, Ryan, and I happened to see you say, stay in the cart. And it was like shortly after that kiddo popped up on the screen. So I don't
Oh
know
no,
what
I
that
was
meant.
telling William because he was right by the cart that the other guys were in. I'm like, stay in the cart. You should have stayed in the cart.
I
Yeah, but
waved.
if I jump
waved.
in that car, that would have been a fight.
Okay. This is what's up. I simultaneously pull my goggles from up here onto my eyes as I grab the staff back from my dad.
Mhm.
And I don't disappear.
You do to anyone that's in the room.
No, I have the projection.
Yeah, but that's if you wanted to use
Oh,
it.
okay, so I'm not gonna do that. I am gonna disappear.
Okay.
And now I'm on the ethereal plane with the staff,
Okay, so
and I wanna leave it here and take my goggles off.
So I can allow without any type of roll the declaration of you using the ability of your goggles and also grabbing the staff,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot let go of it without making the wisdom save.
Okay, so now I make a wisdom.
You
save.
now have to make the wisdom save again.
Can you move your trackpad?
I will move my trackpad. That is a 10 minus 2. That's an 8. You do have an inspiration point,
Okay,
unless you think an 8 is enough to beat this thing.
I doubt that. I beat it
Can
with
we assist her?
Huh?
no, because y'all aren't with me.
No.
We are
Oh,
way far
we
away.
have to be with.
She
Oh,
is
I
not-
wasn't sure.
She is not just
Okay.
like away from you physically. She's on a total different plane of existence right now.
Yeah, I'm-
So
Okay.
she's on the ethereal plane, which is the plane for ghosts.
Yeah.
I want to use my inspiration point to roll again.
Okay.
If that doesn't work,
You're not, because you have a ton of other things on your character sheet that you don't ever use.
12.
That makes it a
minus
10.
10.
Okay,
Okay.
so if you look at your features on here, one of the things I intentionally put on here in the event that shit went sideways for you was I gave you the feat Lucky.
Oh, nice.
You have 3 points per long rest. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can re-roll up to 3 times.
Okay.
And
so,
you choose which one of the dice to use.
Okay. So I rolled a 10. Did that work?
You did not succeed with a 10.
Okay, so now I can use one of my lucky slots.
Yeah, you can use one of your
Roll
luck
again.
points to roll again.
And then do I get to pick from all of the dice?
You get to pick
I
from whatever
failed
the
already.
last one was and this one. You get the
Okay.
12 and then whatever this is. That is another 12.
Damn it. Okay. How many times can I do that?
You can do it 2 more
Hey,
times.
that's not fair.
I'm lucky.
No, the rest of us have any get lucky points.
That's an
The
11.
rest of it. The rest of us
Okay,
have been married a
have
long
one.
time.
Chance left.
Now, okay, so do you want to roll that die again, or would you like to do it digitally?
Okay, do a digital.
You do it. Be blamed for being the one to touch the
Oh,
buttons.
no.
Go ahead,
Oh, I have to click again.
click that.
What'd she roll?
12.
Okay, so I rolled 10,
What's the
12,
12s? Can we
Well,
add some of those
universe has
12s
spoken.
together?
12.
The universe has spoken.
I'm not gonna go this bitch.
Fuck D&D gods.
Oh man, no, they are dead set that you were going to hold on to this staff in the ethereal plane. Okay, so the way that this works now is that you get yourself either 10 minutes or until you pop back out.
I thought it was 1 minute.
Oh no, you're right. It's 1 minute or until you pop back out.
Okay, well, can I control?
You
Yeah.
so yes and no. So the parameters for how this thing works is that it is trying to push you on to doing the most possibly ridiculous damage you can to the biggest possible enemy, proving how unbelievably powerful you are. So you are now in the ethereal plane with this thing, and it wants you to basically fight the biggest and baddest thing. And you're either going to die trying or it's going to make you the best that there is.
Okay.
So immediately, what is the strongest thing you can think of? What's the strongest thing in the city that you know of?
In the city that I know of? I don't know, some kind of like race that's like giants or something mixed with giants, maybe? Would you say Goliaths
Well, yeah,
and
but
whatnot that
so-
were guarding this building?
so far, the most dangerous thing you know of in this city is Ivor.
You said strongest, not dangerous.
No, I said it wants to make you the strongest.
Okay, but then you asked what's the most dangerous, what's the strongest thing you can think of, not most dangerous, okay. Oh, well, if the question is the most dangerous thing I can think of, then it's Ivor.
Like the big bad, the thing that you know that if you can defeat it, you are a god among gods.
Yeah, Ivor, okay.
So then with that in your head that you now have to go and face that thing right now, what does your character do?
Well, I guess I would go back to the natural plane of existence. Can I travel faster in the ethereal
You
plane?
can't travel faster, but you can travel in a way that would avoid the rest of the building.
Okay,
like
so
our
I guess
anybody in it.
stay in the ethereal plane and start moving in the direction of Ivor's tower.
Okay, so with a minute, you would have enough time to get out of this building and then out into the courtyard, just at the edge of it, going back out into town.
Okay,
So you would phase back in right about the place where you had tried to ditch the guards before.
okay,
Your stealth check is still outstanding, and so they don't notice you pop in.
So then I just keep,
Then yeah, you are now basically free with this unbelievably dangerous magical item, guiding you towards greatness. Air quotes.
okay,
So cutting back over to
yikes.
everybody else.
I would actually want to set a pace. I think we should go try to find those prisoners, and depending on the guards there, I'm gonna get in a tussle, because setting those people free would definitely give us allies. And the more noise we make, the more likely that Ryan can find us.
Just a point of thought there for you. All of the prisoners might actually be bug people. There
Well,
isn't
there's-
a way for you to know the difference without, well, I mean, you got your saber, but
And at this point, bug person or not bug person, you know that there's at least one out there that is not a bug person that is 100% sided with Ivor. So basically anybody that is holding these prisoners should be considered a threat. Or at the very least a foe.
Absolutely. So I would be listening for, commotion sounds, or is there an open courtyard that would fit the best? I would also ask the blacksmith, if you were going to hold prisoners in this area, where would be the best place to hold them that you could effectively, keep an eye on them?
Well, so Trader's Bend is a large sort of open area. And in the open air part of it, it's usually set up tons and tons of different shops, like imagine like a bazaar in like Saudi Arabia, where lots of open air market stuff. And then around it in this huge courtyard square are like brick and mortar shops as well. The ones that like have established themselves and been in Reef for a long time. That's why Emil is in one of those shops.
Okay.
So when you approach Trader's Bend, you would see as you're getting closer that the entire sort of open air market area has been cleared, and basically what's left behind is like wreckage and debris. Like they've torn apart whatever shops were there, and they now have set up what looks to be almost like a pen in the center of Trader's Bend with these poles that are about 10 foot tall. And basically the D&D equivalent of razor wire is wrapped all around them in order to keep everybody in place.
Okay. I do three things. One, I look at the blacksmith and say, I aim to misbehave. I'm gonna go in there, cause some problems. I'm going to try to rescue some of these people. If you don't wish to go with us, I don't blame you. Stay back, keep an eye on things. And when I'm done with this, we'll take you back to where everybody else is. Two, look at Heather. Tonks, here's a plan. I'm gonna rush in, you do your thing. Do not hold back. This is one of those situations where we can't hold back right now. And if things start turning bad, grab the blacksmith, head back to the rest of the group.
What,
Torch?
what you missed, Heather, is that I described the center of the trade district that is now like a massive sort of prisoner pen, huge like 10-foot poles that have razor wire that's wrapped around in a big fence, and all of the townsfolk that they've gathered so far are inside there. And so Emir is now discussing what he's gonna do.
Okay.
And Torch, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. It's butt kicking time.
Excellent.
Oh, I love a cool
I'm
rhyme.
done with you with going in. I have my
I used to love John Candy.
I still do.
Well, I've got kicked off his Christmas card list.
Oh, he died.
Well, no, he's Jewish.
And
Oh,
he's dead.
Come on, Ryan. That's never been a problem for me before. I've got a Ouija board.
How many guards do I see?
So you see that's the really sort of tough thing here, is that they all sort of look like normal townsfolk. But if you want to make an investigation check, you can. You're far enough out that they don't see you or see you as a threat yet. So
How far are they away?
I'm gonna say 100 feet. That's a 4.
Way to roll, William.
So you do see someone that you're very certain has got to be a bug person. You've studied them, you've seen them everywhere, and you know for a fact that they are the most just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, wait, you're looking at a puddle.
Ah! Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Anybody can make that check, though. You can make an investigation check out of the three of you. And it's basically, you know, sort of the signs to look for in order to tell son of a.
yeah. I think that's my first 20.
That is badass.
yay!
Okay, well, what I was saying is that you've sort of got an idea of what to look for as far as signs when it comes to these things. But it's incredibly challenging to be able to be 100% certain unless you're like really close to them. But with a 20 in investigation, it's incredibly challenging for me not to give you a massive clue here that is probably going to help you for the rest of this campaign. As everyone is standing there trying to sort of gauge, like, is that person somebody we need to kill, or are they somebody we should save? You look down, and in a flash of lightning from up above, you see that the shadows of these people, only some of them are people. Some of them are bugs as the light flashes through their exoskeleton.
Nice.
So you know that if you can get these things to cast shadows, you can tell what is what.
Oh.
Again,
Tell who's who.
very dark
Nice.
outside.
Remember,
so
Torch,
you're
you-
out when it comes to like natural light right now, except for the occasional flashes of lightning. But if you've got a light source of some kind,
Mordecai thought you were snapping it.
Morty,
Like a firebolt.
Morty, it's okay, boy.
Oh,
I trained my dog to respond to snaps, and 2 usually means he's done something wrong.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, buddy. It's okay. You're a good boy. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just
Only-
Left the room with his tail between his legs, like, dang it, I don't know what.
aw.
Aw.
He's okay.
he's okay. Here.
Mordecai, hey, up here.
Come here, boy.
He's like, I'm not supposed to climb on mom. What are you doing? Say hi.
Aw, there's this sweatshirt.
Aw.
Yeah, that's his hoodie.
Say hi.
Yay.
That's a good
Aw,
boy.
Uh,
cute old boy.
Kelly, remember, you got that flash of inspiration. We don't have that yet.
That's right. So yeah, as Ymir is perplexed with why the dwarf in the puddle would be so mischievous looking, you are far more in tune with what's going on. And yeah, you pick up a massive clue from that. So there is no more guesswork necessary. If you can find a way to shine light on these things, you can figure out what they are.
Can you get
All
down?
right.
Down boy.
Thank you.
Good boy.
Oh.
You could just barely see his eyes down there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Heather, were you gonna do anything too?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to.
You don't necessarily
Um,
need to make the investigation check, but you can, or you can do something else if you'd like. Initiative? A nat 20 on initiative? Holy fuck, what are we doing? I don't care, you go first.
Heather's going to town.
Damn, that was Ymir.
Soon as she gives me information, charge. I mean, I might do something.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna fight along with them.
Okay, so then are we saying that what y'all are doing now is you are just going to immediately engage these things?
I will announce that we can see in their shadows if they're bugs or not.
Okay, so I'm not going to get us into the fight right now because we're almost at the end of our time. But sure, we'll just sort of declare that as Ymir can't tell what is what, he then looks up and goes, "Oh." And then immediately starts running towards them to engage in combat. And as he's starting to run off, you shout out, "We can see what they are in the shadows." He goes, "Right." And that's it.
Amir looks back, grins, and shows you there's something in his hand. He has not lit it yet, but there is something in his hand.
Yeah.
So 13 on initiative. Do you want to go ahead and roll for this torch so that everyone's got initiative in the chat?
Sure, sure.
Fucking nat 20 on initiative.
As soon as I find it. There he is. There it is.
Okay, cool.
Wah, wah.
Honestly, though, I mean, going last in combat is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
It means you get to plan a bit.
Yeah.
But Amir's never been much of a planner.
I feel attacked.
Leroy Jenkins.
That's
That's better.
100% the vibe I get on this. Like, okay, so we could talk this through and figure out the best possible plan, but I think I might survive this if I just run in there. What?
It's worked for so far.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
This is by and large the most unbelievably awesome group of adventurers I've ever gotten the pleasure to play with. This ridiculous amalgam of things that all of you have brought to the table are fascinating.
And the best part about this situation we find ourselves in is Backshot is not here. He who shoots
Oh,
in the back.
See, the thing here is that if Ryan wanted to shoot you in the back, he would probably have to wait until you were directly above him and then shoot straight up.
Which, with how much noise you make, that probably isn't hard for me to figure out.
Right. Amir just
Clankety
runs
clank, clank,
over a
clank.
grate in the street. Clang, 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 clang.
Mm.
Huh.
And I'd be like, hold on, Oni, fire.
Huh. It sounds like a paint can in a washing machine. That's Amir.
As I'm running along, battle! Stay in the cart.
Right. As you run over a grate. Prestidigitation, and then in sparkly glitter writing in the air, it says "Stay in the cart." Fireworks. Okay, well, that's where I'm going to call it this week.
Wait. That wasn't quite right, isn't
And
it?
that's where I'm going to call it.
I thought
Take
it's,
two.
and that's what I'm gonna call game.
Yeah, you know,
What?
That's where I'm gonna call game tonight.
you know,
See?
the fact is, Ryan, that if I am as predictable as everyone seems to think I am, maybe me mixing it up is a good thing.
Look, you won't be in Lancaster forever and everything. You gotta make sure you get these things right. I got it on tape.
You did too. You did. Every morning at 9 a.m. with India,
So
Ryan.
Miles
asks-
lives in Leander.
every morning at 9 a.m. Ryan asks me in front of our India folks how the weather is in Lancaster, Texas, because he can never seem to remember that I live in Leander, Texas.
Oh, I wondered what that was about. I
And
saw the thing or whatever.
in the last meeting that I was in with him, he intentionally did it. And-
not. Truthfully, I did
Right.
not do it.
But Gallo was in that meeting too. And so I called Ryan out on it. And I was like, look, I've talked about this a lot. And I explained again where the name came from and how it's okay. It's totally fine. I don't even know that there is a Lancaster, Texas. Meanwhile, Gallo then goes and shares the screen of Google Maps where he's found Lancaster, Texas.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck.
Truthfully, though, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I mean, it's not like Castle Basil Carrot Top. Okay. It's not
Castle
like that.
Basel.
And I thought honestly, when she was on the ethereal plane, I thought, if this is the place of ghosts, the biggest, baddest thing on that plane might be, Castle Lassel, Let It Pop. No,
Did he just say asshole?
Lassel. Castle Lassel, Let It Pop.
It's casserole.
There's no swearing. This goes on
Yes.
YouTube. They'll demonetize us for that.
Right.
Only if it's in the first 30 seconds.
Oh.
There are so many things that you can do throughout the course of a video that YouTube will now flag because they've decided to implement AI to do all of it.
But considering how many people on there have other sketchy stuff, let's just say,
Oh,
they're weakening their rules.
it's not about the sketch, it's about DMCA. So like for instance, in one of our episodes, I don't remember which one, but it's flagged on my side. We had played some sort of music at some point that was licensed by somebody. And so during that part of the video, all audio has been removed from the YouTube video.
Well, that's lame.
Dang.
That's messed up.
So
Hmm.
I gotta ask though, I don't think we've done XP in the last couple, like in the last two, and I don't think we're gonna do it this round because we're in the middle of battle. So are you keeping yourself a good? Those are your words, not mine. You don't like to do it in the middle of battle because we're in the middle of battle.
Ryan, we're not in the middle of battle.
Nobody's in.
In fact,
Oh,
the
excellent.
first time that anyone rolled initiative tonight was on the way out of game.
I'm in a battle. I didn't have to roll initiative because there's no initiative to roll.
I would say that you're not technically in a battle. You are threatened. it is very likely what is about to happen is a very negative thing to you.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure it's a negative thing to the Oni.
I mean, it could be both. You might
Mhm.
kill him, but he also eats both your arms.
I mean, as long as I get the bragging rights over Amir forever after that to say, look, you had not one but two encounters with this dude and lost, and you had a team with you. I might have lost 2 limbs, but I still kicked his butt. As long as I still have that, I'm good.
Um, there was a very serious part of me whenever you were like asking the Oni again, like this is your last chance to back down. I was like, he's gonna eat Emil, like that's about to happen. Like the point of him not doing it way past. So Emil only has so many hit points, and if the Oni rolls half of them in one attack, he's just dead.
Oh,
So
I didn't know
I
that.
mean,
What
see,
happens
Ye-
if Emil dies?
well, I don't know. It's a very important.
if Emil dies, I kick down the door to his shop, and I find the items we want, and I still loot the place.
I
No,
would be the sad. I like
good
him.
point. But actually, Emil and Dadu removed their bracelets.
You're a hero.
Night market.
I'm not.
Okay. I missed that.
However, the last time we faced that Oni, someone left us to fight it and went shopping. And since that person is about to start fighting this person, I say we help him out by going to Emil's shop and browsing.
Browsing.
To be fair, I went shopping before the fight started.
No, you didn't.
I'm
Uh,
pretty sure I did.
Actually, William is correct.
It's, oh, that's
He
awesome.
is. So you
Ah.
went. Okay, so it's technically it was sandwiched. You went shopping before the fight started, like the whole group did, and then after the fight started, you were still in the middle of doing like not shopping, but you were out going to try and find a meal. And then when the fight started with the Oni, everybody started rushing out. And so all of the shops were empty. And you said that you were going to go over to where Tonks and Torch were on the control stand. Or no, it was Torch and River were on the control stand trying to figure out how to use things. And then you said, wait a minute, so all of the shops are empty? And I said, yeah, everyone's gone. He's like, well, then I'm going to just loot things as I go.
Meanwhile, me and Tonks were down in the river, the pit, and the water, duking it out with Teethy.
Yeah, in fact, I
Well-
remember very distinctly that after you had raided the last place, you intentionally said that you were going to stow everything away and then not mention that you had gone shopping to the rest of the group.
I mean, look, you gotta have priorities. I mean, had Ymir, not went toe to toe with the tiny owl again, I wouldn't be in that mess. What? He looks like a tiny owl to me, just because you can see him as a big, bad, scary thing. To the rest of
Actually,
us, he's just a tiny owl.
right now is the first time that Dadu has actually seen what this Oni really looks like.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this Oni has no idea what Lord Daddy's capable of. It's amazing.
Actually, the
I'm
fun
gonna
part
have
about it,
so much fun with this fight, or die. Or
the,
die.
the fun part about it is that the Oni does know Dadu as Emir's friend. Because back in the school, Emir was about to get his ass probably eaten when Dadu showed up and went, hey, we gotta go, and got him out of there.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that Lord Daddy was responsible for saving Emir's ass yet again? Oh,
Let's be clear here. He ran both those times. Okay, I walked away the first time. He ran away the second time.
These two are gonna duke it out over the internet. Iowa, Arizona. Is it Iowa?
Yes.
Ymir is one of Daddy's closest friends that I wouldn't hesitate to kill if I needed to.
Spoken like a warlock.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one because Dadu, honestly, I don't think Dadu even knew what the fuck was being fought when everyone was fighting the Oni. Because he didn't show up to actually attack until the Oni was already in the dark cloud that it had created.
No, he looked like a mirror. That's when I
That's right.
showed up. It's,
That's right. He still looked
it's-
like a mirror. And then they flipped over into the pit. And then Dadu never ran over to look in the pit to see him. So this is the first time that Dadu has ever actually seen this thing.
I mean, I was on my way to do it,
Yeah. So he's seen
but
the
I
little,
should know his voice.
he's seen the little owl, and he has now finally encountered this.
And Amir has told me about the owl, so I know what it is,
Mhm.
or at least I know what it looks like or what it's supposed to look like.
So yeah, you would probably, even though you yourself have not encountered an Oni before, immediately be able to guess that this is the one that Amir was talking about.
Yay! I get to kill a friend of Ymir's. And the great thing is, it thinks the same thing.
All right,
Either way.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.